What up, wrestling fans on YouTube? It's Rob Monty here. Alright, guys, I'm bringing you guys some new wrestling news today. First and foremost, I want to start off by saying, holy shit, guys, it's awesome to have AJ Styles back. Back from the dead, apparently, in the Boneyard match. And he's coming back with some aggression and some anger. Some real ruthless aggression, apparently, because now he wants to throw someone off the roof at Money in the Bank since he's now qualified for the Money in the Bank. That is awesome. And then another thing which I want to discuss just before we go into some of the news articles today, and that is Roman Reigns. I mean, there's a lot of talk about him being erased from WWE at the current moment. Honestly, my thoughts on it is if they are clearing Roman off TV right now, it's mostly because of the fact that he will not be on the show due to the fact that with COVID-19 and this pandemic going on, he's basically what you call his immune system is in fact compromised due to the leukemia battles that he had for the last he survived it 2 times, guys. So his body is compromised. As a person who deals with family members who are compromised, you always got to make sure you take the extra measures and extra just the extra details of taking care of each other and making sure that everybody has hand sanitizer, gloves, all that kind of stuff to protect yourself. So for Roman, it's probably wise to stay home. So my opinion on this is that they're not going to promote him while he's gone, and which makes sense. I mean, you want to keep him off television because of the fact that you don't want to be... It's going to look bad on WWE if he were to go on television for WWE right now and basically travel the world with his compromised system, because if he were somehow contracts the virus, it's going to look bad on them, which would be bad for their business in general. But if something happened to Roman due to the coronavirus, as we know that many people who have compromised systems are usually the ones at higher risk and will probably, at worst scenario possible, death. If something tragically happened to Roman due to COVID-19, it would be bad for them. It would be bad for the industry. It would just be horrible. And then on top of that, guys, as you guys know, Roman is a leukemia survivor. He's survived leukemia twice. So it's going to look really, really bad on the wrestling world. And it's not just WWE, it's the industry as a whole. That's where we're at there. As far as WWE trying to erase him, guys, let me take a drink. Oh, man. I don't think they're giving him the Chris Benoit treatment, as everybody would like to say. But I think they're just trying to keep him off TV so you don't think about him. And then when it's time for him to show up, he's going to make a huge-ass surprise. That's my honest 110% opinion. That's where I'm going by it. Because I'm not hearing anything bad. I'm not hearing anything bad about Roman and WWE. There doesn't seem like a bad disconnect or a relationship that's being reported at the moment. Quite honestly, if we look in the articles and there's something there, I'll go over it, and I'll eat my words for it. But, as far as what we know, that's open knowledge. Roman chose to stay home, which was the smarter idea, and that's protecting the business. It's protecting Roman. WWE agreed to it, and in my opinion, the fact that they're not mentioning him is because they want to make it a bigger return when he does make it back. And it's understandable because it's like, you don't want to promote a person if the person's not going to be there. That's just my honest opinion, and I believe when he's able to return full time, I would say that would be like a big surprise coming. So shouldn't be a big surprise because it's the COVID-19 pandemic, right? Yeah, but I think they're saving Roman for that amount of time. Meanwhile, Roman can just heal up and and rest up, I believe, in general. So, and then on top of that, try and stay in good shape so that he can return to the ring. And from what it looks like from Roman's side, there is nothing negative being said. There's nothing in general being said. So the negatives that is coming out of this situation, folks, is in fact is the fact of the matter that Roman is being erased and not mentioned in anything that he was in. Basically, like for instance, yesterday with the Money in the Bank video clip where Seth Rollins cashed in on both him and Lesnar and stomped both. I think he stomped Brock's head in, or was it? He did stomp Brock's. You know, and to me, it's like the fact that they edited that out, where Rollins pinned Roman. I mean, to me, it's minor in my opinion because, in my humblest opinion, if I have to give you guys my humblest opinion, they want to promote the Money in the Bank contract, the Money in the Bank winner. So by having Seth, showing Seth's victory at WrestleMania 31, I think that was the bigger point of that whole clip and promo. The fact that Roman wasn't in there and it feels kind of weird, I think that's why everybody's got their alarms going off. And on top of that, SmackDown intro. I'm thinking because Roman's going to be off, I'm thinking they're working on a new intro so they don't have to worry about Roman at the time of this pandemic, you know. I'm pretty sure they'll put it back when he's in the ring again. But as far as the Seth video, the video of Seth's win, to me, I think that's the bigger point of the video itself being produced for Money in the Bank, is to promote Seth's win and promote how important that Money in the Bank briefcase actually is. And plus, I'm like thinking to myself too, what wrestling fan is memorize that entire match from start to finish to just automatically bring that up, you know? I mean, I wouldn't have thought about it unless someone brought it up. That's just my honest opinion. And as far as I'm considering it, as far as my my thoughts and my opinion on this, if there is something going on between Roman and WWE, I believe it will come out to the light eventually, but there's nothing being said right now. I do not want to judge if there's a bad connection between the two parties in between. I don't, because to me, I think they're just keeping them off TV so they can promote the guys who are on TV right now. On top of that, it's like nothing's being said. There's nothing negative coming out of Titan Tower. There's not negative feelings or emotions coming out of the Anoa'i family for this. You know, I mean, what the flying fuck, guys? Why are we thinking the negative and the nasties of the world over this whole thing? I mean, maybe they're doing this just because they don't know when Roman will be able to come back on TV. There's a good chance he might never come back on TV with this fucking pandemic going on. And that's because the pandemic itself is a bad thing. And for all we know, Roman could have been the one with the corona. Who knows that? Who knows? Who fucking knows? It's not my business. My business is, as far as this goes, is I hope Roman's okay and doing well and taking care of his family at this time. Hoping that his family's doing well. And, you know, I hope one day when he gets back in the business, we're gonna have a big pop for this guy. I mean, fuck. And then I'm also hoping nobody gets sick in WWE. Even though Vince wants to fulfill all his commitments and obligations, you know. I don't think Roman's being buried. Maybe less promoted is more the key. For a lot of people who are saying he's being erased, I don't think you know what the fuck you're talking about, because there is no information about this. Was there a bad fallout between Roman and Vince? There's never been any talk about it. That's where I get off on that. And that's where I'm going to leave that at. So let's get into the news, guys. I mean, before I go off on a fucking tangent that I don't, that take 2 hours to go over, because it bothers me that some fans would actually do that, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. So, first thing of news. Oh, yeah, I was watching a little bit of What Culture for a lot of people who wants to know. I just wanted to see what they were doing in general. But this is what we got for today's news. Jesse Ventura is no longer seeking the Green Party nomination. I kind of figured this was going to happen after Fox and CNN and NBC have all reported that Jesse was looking to join the Green Party and they wouldn't allow him in. And now it's being said by U.S. Congress candidate Bill Sembrello said Ventura is not running anymore. So Ventura is not going to be in the presidential campaign, guys. Unfortunately, for reasons that were not elaborated, Governor Ventura has decided not to seek the Green Party nomination for president. My apologies to all those that made an effort to get this off the ground, and for your inevitable disappointment, you must feel sorry. From the guy that would have been the campaign manager if there had been a campaign. Wow. And for what it's worth, guys, Sembrello's tweets have since been deleted since this statement. As far as I'm concerned, this probably was a smart move by Governor Ventura at this point, in my opinion, because if anything, Jesse, I don't think he would have been taken seriously. I mean, yeah, you would have mentioned how good of a governor he was in Minnesota, and the negatives that would have been brought up, but it's so late in the campaign and on the election trail. Him entering right now would be a fucking, what would I call it? Be a big mistake, because a lot of the people have already fundraised. It would be too late for him to actually go and campaign and get people to support him. That's the whole problem with this. And then on top of that, the Green Party did not necessarily support the idea of him wanting to be their candidate. So, guys, take it for what it's worth here. Governor Ventura is out. All right. Now, we're having one about Otis, who has wanted to give us a funny thing here, I guess. I don't know. But the digital spy had talked to Otis, and he said he's talked to Scotty Tuhati, my bad, to get his approval to use the caterpillar, or AKA the worm. And this is what came out to this. So Otis says, how did he came up with the caterpillar? It was at a dance party in elementary school. No girls would dance with him, so he had to get the crowd over with his moves. So he started shaking his hips, getting going, waited till everybody was watching, and then he started a big circle dance. Everybody was looking in there, checking him out, and that's when he dropped and did the caterpillar for the first time. And he loved doing that move ever since. So basically, that's the origin of the caterpillar. On speaking to Scotty Tuhati about it, because Scotty Tuhati was doing used to make it the worm, he told Scotty, and it says the move means a lot to him. And hearing that story, that would mean a lot if you're going to get some action with the girls in that point. I can understand that. And he says, I know you're the king of the worm, but I want to continue this, and we will call it the caterpillar. So he actually got permission from Scotty Tuhati and gave him the reason. That's just cool. On his character, he wants to say that it's only him turned up to 10. So everything they do, like him talking to girls and being shy, is a real thing. Hey, that's why he's such a relatable character, and that's why he's such a lovable character, obviously. A lot of people are comparing him to Chris Farley, apparently, and he says, a lot of people confuse me with Chris Farley. I don't want to say confused, but it came naturally. I didn't try to take any of Chris Farley's innuendos or comedy. I guess we both sound the same, and we both have good looks, you know? Well, for one, Chris Farley was lovable too, and he was funny as shit. That's what I'm going to say. Alright, WWE is not now looking their sights on an NXT superstar getting a big push. And this person is NXT superstar Brendan Vink, who you guys know he's teaming up with Shane Thorne, a part of MVP's stable of guys. But he's in line for a big push, basically. And this is what the officials have considered. Vink to be a project in the developmental for some time as he was sent to Evolve, which used him to build him up. That push in Evolve would have continued to get bigger if it weren't for the COVID-19. You guys want my honest opinion? Everything would have been bigger if it wasn't for COVID-19. Everything in wrestling would be bigger. That's the truth. Vink's recent main roster appearance is said to be the beginning of trying to make him into a real star. And they're looking long-term pushes. So we're going to see a slow build of Brendan Vink. So I think that's going to be interesting to watch. I've only watched Brendan Vink a couple times. I don't get to watch Evolve that much, guys. I'm sorry. But he should become a big star. I mean, I'm just looking at him for the first time. Do I feel like it's going to be that way? It's I don't know stage, but I'm pretty sure by the end of the year and when he finds himself as who he is in WWE, I'm pretty sure it'll be more, it will show more, and we can make an honest decision there. Alright. And they're saying the early stage, his push was described to be similar to the current Universal Champion Braun Strowman when he was a member of the Wyatt family. I can see that. It's a nice build, I guess, but I think you gotta really check how he does it, you know? So, as far as Braun, guys, I think Braun's push was slow because they had Roman around, they had Brock around. I think there's so much factors going on to Braun's title win. And I guess thanks to COVID-19, we got Braun Strowman as the Universal Champion. Plus, I think Braun would have had a rivalry with Roman, which would have carried out through the summer, you know? Which would have been an awesome feud, in my opinion. Or even with The Fiend, to be honest. Alright. So next, Mick Foley, in also relation to Brendan Vink. Mick Foley has decided to praise Brendan Vink, and here is what he had to say. I'm a Brendan Vink guy. Bring out the best in him. MVP. Vinkamania is running wild, brother. Let me hear it from you, the little Vinksters out there. Alright. Now I'm like, I want to go find out too, you know. Shit. Brendan Vink is making names, making waves. Alright, now on to Impact Wrestling, or TNA as we all call it. They have an update on tonight's broadcast, which will be on Access TV, highlighting Cody Deaner in tonight's Impact. The following match segments are confirmed for tonight's Impact broadcast, so that's an update from what the preview I was going to look at. But here's what we got for you guys. Sami Callihan speaks for the first time since losing to Ken Shamrock last week at Rebellion. Cousin Jake seeks revenge against Joseph P. Ryan, or as we all know him, Joey Ryan, following his controversial loss at Rebellion. And then also the Tag Team Champions, the North, defend their title from Canada. And then also we're going to see Havoc sit down with Madison Rayne and Johnny Swinger on a special edition of Locker Room Talk. Of course, we have the video here of Cody Deaners. Impact has a YouTube channel, so I'm not going to play the video. But it's going to be interesting, in my opinion, to watch Impact tonight, especially with the fallout with Moose becoming the TNA World's Heavyweight Champion. And especially after his words yesterday, calling out Tessa and saying, Tessa, challenge me. I ain't challenging you. You challenge me. And calling her title, the Impact Heavyweight title, a second-rate title. In which, like I told you guys, I agree with Moose. So, all right, moving on to some AEW news. Aubrey Edwards has comments on being told her lipstick was too distracting. Well, I'm like, why is this a thing? Well, I guess just a little comedy, guys. This is on the Unrestricted podcast, and basically, where is it? I want to see. Oh, right here. My favorite comment online once was that someone couldn't watch the match because my lipstick was too distracting. Yeah, I'm like, you're not paying attention to wrestling. Like, what the hell are you doing, buddy? Yeah, I think social media team gets at least one email a week about me and how I'm a distraction. And the people can't watch all Elite Wrestling because I'm on TV. Hey, girl, tell them, preach, shoot that fire at them. Honestly, do I sit down by Aubrey Edwards on this comment? Yes, I do. Because I know for a fact that, you want to know why she's distracting, folks? She's a female referee. And she happens to be on a popular wrestling show. And here's the thing. To me, this should not even make a... To me, WWE's got women referees too, so I'm going to be questioning Aubrey, I guess, on this one. And that would be... Do you think it's because they're checking you out during the whole match instead of actually watching the damn match? I mean, they feel distracted because they're checking you out and they don't pay attention to the match. In my opinion, that's probably the main reason, and that's probably why they're complaining. Because they're too busy checking out Aubrey Edwards, the referee, and missing the whole point of that wrestling match. Now, as a man, right, I don't blame myself. I don't blame anyone who is checking her out during the match. I mean, she's pretty damn hot in her like of words. And, I mean, she's really hot and sexy, man. And if I were to choose to pay attention to the match or pay attention to her, I would pay attention to her more if she's that hot compared to what's going on in the match. The match could be boring as shit, and she's just freaking fine. She's just moving around in that ring there, counting the pin, you know, making facial expressions to the freaking guys when they're working the match. Yeah. Quite honestly, I think a lot of us who are feeling distracted by Aubrey Edwards in the ring is because we're attracted to her. Does that, I'm going to say this, does that make it bad, make it wrong? No. But I can understand if it's kind of harassing her. I think it's more harassing that, to me, if you're checking her out in the ring, it's not sexual harassment if that's what you guys are worried about, or harassment. I think it becomes sexual harassment when you go to her damn Twitter and comment and say, hey, I'm not paying attention to the wrestling anymore because I think you have too much lipstick on. It's like, what the fuck, dude? That's literally coming out and saying to her face, yeah, I'm checking you out during your match. Yeah, do I have a hard on for you? Yes, I do. What you gonna do about it? You're more interesting than the match. To me, I could consider that as sexual harassment or harassment in general. Me personally, if I was checking her out, which I probably have, guys, I'm going to say this. I ain't going to be making it out known to the world unless I'm joking around with my friends. I'm not going to go up to Aubrey Edwards and tell her, hey, you wear too much lipstick. Hey, you're sending blood to my dick. You know? I would never. Because that's not the right thing to do unless you're in an intimate and loving relationship and you meant that out of love. So the people who are commenting on her looking distracting, you really missing the point of the match, and on top of that, you missed the point of how this is not harassment at all. You know? Damn. Alright, now Eric Bischoff also is in the news today because he's also talking about claims of James Storm not liking to put other talent over. And this is what he had to say. He said James Storm hated doing jobs and putting over talent over. He gets in it in his own way. He really, really does. I've said this before. You go back and watch any James Storm match. Anyone go to Impact app. Watch any James Storm match. You can tell when he makes his entrance what the finish is going to be. James Storm hates putting over anybody. Now, he won't come out and say it. He won't do that. He artfully passive-aggressive about it. So much so that it's a running joke, or was a running joke. And I like James as a person. He's probably going to hear this, and A, he's not going to agree with it, and B, he's going to be pissed off at me for saying it. But so what? Sorry, James. It is what it is. I gotta lay it out there. I see it, brother. It was a running joke in TNA while we were there. You've heard him, that boo-boo face term, that term boo-boo face. He was the master of the boo-boo face. If he was going over, man, he was on fire coming out to that ring. If he knew he was going over. If he knew he was doing a job, you could read it 2 miles away. Wow. And then he goes on to talk about how Storm did not want to confront Scott Steiner backstage about the plan for him to put Storm over. On this particular occasion, we had the show written in such a way that James was going to go over Scott Steiner. We told him early enough in the day and said, okay, you guys go figure it out. Come back to me, let me know what you got. We can smarten up the director, Dave Sahadi, so we can make sure we capture it all. And that was kind of the process. And James kept coming up to me throughout the day. Man, Scott doesn't want to do anything. He doesn't want to put me over. I said, well, go talk to him. This is the story. Go have a conversation with him. This is what we're doing. Tell your agent, don't bother me with it. It's not my job. Go figure it out. And 1 second. What? Sorry about that, guys. I thought somebody was at the door. Sorry about that. Alright, so where were we? Alright, where were we? Where? Okay. Alright, go have a conversation with him. This is what we're doing to tell your agent, don't bother me with it. It's not my job, go figure it out. And he came back to me like 2 or 3 times during the course of the day, to the point where I figured it out. He didn't want to confront Scott. I'm not going to blame him for that. Scott could really be difficult. Really difficult when he was in a certain frame of mind. So I'm not suggesting that James was afraid. Well, he probably was, and he had every right to be, as did most people back then. But for whatever reason, he wasn't going to sit down with Scott and work it out between the two of them. And I finally got involved and said, Scott, this is what we need to do. What we need. He said, I don't want to do it. I said, okay, great. We'll find somebody else to do it. Wow. And then this situation led to Scott Steiner being fired. Like 2 days later, of course, all this got back to TNA management. Scott Steiner got fired. Scott Steiner figured, I'm the one that fired him. Or he blamed Hulk. Hulk had nothing to do with it. Hulk was putting Scott over at every opportunity at the time. Hulk really liked Scott and saw value in it. Wow! Whoa! This James Storm situation has just become fire right now. Holy shit. Oh, and you know what's the worst part, guys? Scott Steiner is currently working with James Storm in the NWA storylines. Holy shit. Oh my God. Oh, this is going to be... That is fire, my friends. And Bischoff just... Oh, think about this, guys. Think about this. Steiner has hated Hogan since being fired from TNA. All the shit we hear about Scott Steiner and Hulk Hogan was from this freaking firing. And it's because Scott thought he was fired by Hogan. And Bischoff has now stated Hulk was putting Scott over at every chance he could get to... Holy shit! Oh, my mind is blown, guys. So Scott Steiner's pissed off because Hulk Hogan was trying to put him over. Holy fuck! But it's actually Scott Steiner's pissed off because he thinks Hulk fired him. This is holy fuck! And it's all based off James not wanting to talk to him. Holy fuck! Oh, I think Scott Steiner needs to be pissed off with TNA, not Scott being pissed with Hulk now, after reading this. On how the incident revealed that that Storm didn't have the determination he needed. He goes like, I'm not blaming James, but he was involved in it because he just didn't have determination. I'll use the word determination to sit down and say, no, this is what we need to do. This is what's on the show. Let's figure it out between us and do it in a way that is good for you and good for me. Get the job done. James couldn't do that. And this is off the 83 Weeks podcast, guys. So I would definitely take a chance to listen to this because I would like to hear it in Bischoff's words. I'm reading it in Bischoff's words. But I'm saying this. If this whole thing with James Storm not wanting to talk to Scott Steiner and not putting over town is what led to Scott Steiner getting fired, oh my God, if you're James Storm, holy fuck. Oh my God. If you were afraid of Scott Steiner, as Bischoff was stating here, I would be more scared of him now. You got the guy... Because you talked to him and he didn't want to do the job for you, he got fired by management. I mean, holy fuck. And he blames it on Hogan. He was going to kill Hogan, and some people felt like, oh my goodness. This whole situation here with James Storm, Scott Steiner, and Bischoff, that's a hot mess. My God. All right, back to AEW news. Matt Hardy reacts to Fox not including him for WWE's Greatest Ladder Matches special. And it was noted on this special, it's going to feature The Rock, Cena, The Undertaker, Austin, Edge, Lesnar, Orton, Reigns, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and many others. And then Matt Hardy had responded to a fan who brought up how he was missing of the promotion of the social. Matt wrote, "It's all good. In 2020, wrestling fans know you can't talk about WWE's Greatest Ladder Matches without the names HBK, Razor, Christian, Bubba, Diva, Matt, and Jeff included. Hopefully those matches are included for keeping actual history credible." And guys, you know how I started up with the Roman Reigns thing about being edited out of the promo, and where I said uh, fans shouldn't be jumping to conclusions and thinking the worst, right? Apparently, this person who is Asha Richards or Lardon Del Alma is the one who. No, it wasn't him. Yeah, he's the one that doesn't talk. He's the one that brings up that they did not list Shawn Michaels, Scott Hall, Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, and is saying it is a crime. You know what? Shut the fuck up. That's all I say. The reason why is because you're just looking for trouble there. You're looking for Matt Hardy or Jeff Hardy or Shawn Michaels or Scott Hall to go off and go bananas and ape shit with the company right now, right? That's what you were looking for. And you're trying to basically prove your point, and you're trying to make yourself look like a damn genius compared to Fox. Let me tell you this. They are going to promote the biggest names. Now, of course, so half these names are not the biggest names on the ladder matches. But, you should be looking at it as what Matt just said. It's all good. In 2020, wrestling fans know you can't talk about greatest ladder matches without mentioning those names, and which is very much true. But the reason why Fox decided to advertise Rock, Cena, Austin, Taker, Edge, and Lesnar, and Orton, and Reigns, so many more, is because those are the big names within the company. Those are like in the top echelon. And in their mind, Fox promoting this are going to be looking at the top echelon and say, "Whoa, those guys had to have great later matches." You gotta understand, Fox in general, Fox Sports, they look at the greatest names. So it's like if we were to watch basketball, we're going to be talking about the greatest plays ever made. We're going to be seeing plays from Isaiah Thomas or Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson, hell, the late great Kobe Bryant. They're not going to be talking about Larry Johnson. They're not going to be talking about Muggsy Bogues. They're not going to be talking about Patrick Ewing, for another thing. They're not even going to be bringing up guys like Kyrie. They're not going to bring up those names. They're going to bring up the greater names, the big echelon names, the ones that have, like, real fame. That's Fox for you guys on there. And I'm pretty sure WWE is putting up a compilation of a great set of ladder matches. Probably some of the greatest ladder matches of all time. Or some of them that could be in the talks of one of the greatest ladder matches of all time. I'm going to say this. If you are worried about what ladder matches are going to be in there, this is why I wanted to this is why I applied for the social media job at one time for WWE. I did apply for it. I didn't get it. No foul play there. No foul anger or whatever. No bitterness. But the thing is, I feel like a lot of the social media people who work there, they tend to either do what the company asks of them instead of promoting exactly actual wrestling history or WWE history as real fans. Some of them are fans who know the history, but whoever's leading the shit wants to tell you current shit most of the time. Wants to promote current shit. Current. Oh, the longest reigning WWE champion of all time is Brock Lesnar. When we look back, it's Bruno Sammartino. Something like that. That's the social media department, and I feel the social media department is led by somebody who hasn't watched the product. And if he has, he's not a fan of it, and he doesn't know the history of all these other greatest things, and they just put a random list together just to get fans interested in it, And here's the thing, you know why? And you know why he's successful, folks? It's because everyone reacts to the posts. Everybody reacts to the Twitter. Everybody reacts to the Instagram posts. They react to the YouTube channels, and they say, "No, fuck you. This is the real list." And that's all social media right there. That's people who are in the marketing and the media who are doing that. Some of them are geniuses, some of them are not. And they don't necessarily care about wrestling history as much as wrestling fans like to think they do. So, you gotta remember that. That's somebody in the marketing department who might not have ever watched all the WWE matches before. So, don't think that these guys are just wrestling fans, because they're not. Alright, moving on. Scott Hall's Twitter account disappears after making lewd comments. I laugh. I fucking laugh because I reported this. Basically, the lewd comments, as you guys know, was a response to Ring of Honor star Session Martina. And basically, what she was saying now, Scott Hall basically told her that she needed to get a boob job. And Scott responded to this by saying, "You need a personality transplant, you dumb bitch." And after making the comment, Hall deleted his account and now all his tweets are gone. Ooh, my goodness. You know what, guys? Probably it looks bad on Scott for saying this. But I say this, this is what I hate about professional wrestling, is when someone who's less relevant in the current state of professional wrestling has to make themselves relevant by topping somebody who is. It's like, you couldn't have the thing is, this girl had no reason to call out Scott Hall, but she wanted to say it because she told him to buy her, to get her a boob job. You know what? And he says she needs a personality transplant. I'm not going to defend this for Scott Hall, but I think a lot of people, I've looked up on a lot of the fan reaction to Session Martina, and a lot of people really agree with Scott Hall and said she needs a personality transplant. So I don't think Scott Hall should be I don't think they should put him down for this, and I hope he comes back to Twitter. I mean, Scott Hall is one of the cooler guys on Twitter. I don't get how some people would hate on him like that. I guess it's because she got offended and wanted to be on it. And here's what we're seeing here, guys. I want you guys to read some of these discuss forums right here, where it says, Zed says, "Lewd adjective, crude and offensive and in a sexual way. What in that tweet was lewd? It was rude, it was dickish, not lewd. Are there other tweets not referenced in this article, or is Andy trying to use new words that he doesn't know the meaning of?" And of course, you know what? I agree with him. You get an up from me, Zed. But basically, he said, yes. I mean, I was wondering the same thing, because lewd actually means, oh, are we gonna see something sexual? But I guess she could take it as a sexual offense, because she said, "Scott Hall told me to get a boob job," when he actually said personality transplant. And here's what Aaron Dowd says: "A personality transplant, the ironic coming from a guy whose personality was based on either ripping off a character from a movie, being an alcoholic and a drug addict. That's why he recommended it. He had one and it worked out great." And he goes like, "He didn't have one. He pretended to have one. Give me the examples of Scott Hall personality that didn't revolve him around him being Tony Montana or stumbling around like a drunk at WCW." Somebody has not watched any Razor Ramon. Yeah, I would just say that. But see, here's the thing. All these people are... See, this is what I'm going to talk about one day. About how wrestling fans go off. And this is exactly what I mean by that, too, guys. I mean, if you look at this article here. At the end of this article. So this guy says, big deal. He called some attention whore dumb. A dumb B. Today's generations are delicate as fuck. And Aaron Dowd goes like, what exactly makes her attention whore? And then he goes like, her entire livelihood being based on follows and likes and Patreons. And he goes like, just checked. She doesn't have a Patreon. Since when do likes and follows pay for rent? Whoo! This guy here down has not followed the internet apparently. Basically, for those of you guys who are wondering what Triangle Eye or what Aaron Dowd is asking, this is exactly what most YouTubers and artists go by as far as making their career when they're doing it online. A Patreon and likes and follows do pay rent, because if someone actually likes your shit and it becomes from one person to a multitude, a million people, because they like what you're saying, what your art is, what your music is, and it's all on fucking YouTube or Facebook, Twitter, hell, all over your Patreon, all over DeviantArt, then fuck yes, it pays the rent, because eventually those likes and follows translate into dollars to those certain websites. Does it pay all of the rent? Maybe not, but it does make money enough so you can pay rent. So, I'm going to say that that's one thing, guys, you know. Not this, and I haven't started a Patreon yet, so just letting you guys know. Main reason is because I'm just trying this out and see how it works as far as my YouTube content goes. But you want what I just said about what Patreon, what likes and follows do for a person who's making a career and living off of Facebook or social media, YouTube, Instagram, Patreon, DeviantArt, and all that, and over a couple of different other sites. They do pay the rent eventually, because eventually it does translate into dollars. It does. It's because of how much content you're promoting and how much people actually like it. Like right now, I got a low set of likes and views, but that's just me. There's people like, I'll give you guys a good example. Good example. Fuck, as much as I hate to bring him up, Belisify in the Pokemon community, doing his Pokemon guides and rip-off and Rich Hunt videos and all that kind of shit. He's making money because he has a lot of viewers and subscribers, and there's people who actually sit in his YouTube channel and watch for the full segment. There is actually a good number of people who do that, and that's, I don't know why, but they do. You know, that's why it translates for him. And then there's other people like, let's say, What Culture. What Culture is doing success because people do like their videos. People do follow them. People have subscribed to them. I don't necessarily agree with them all the time, but I do like some of the shit they do. I mean, Simon Miller's a funny cat, you know? That's the truth. But anyway, with this whole thing with Scott Hall, guys, this is what I'm talking about, where wrestling fans go out of control on the internet and just, you know, have to prove their point, or have to get into an argument, or have to make something. Next thing you know, somebody's talking bad about something, and next thing you know, somebody's going off, and then like somebody's being called a fucking asshole, and then somebody's going like, you fucking thief or cunt, or what you call. Like, this is their whole argument here, guys. And my God, it's gone through a whole shit. That guy has a whole large column of fighting with this one dude over it. And now, see, now that they have gotten everything out of order here, guys, now Aaron's going like, pal, you called her an attention whore because she made a joke. You feel she's dumb, a dumb bitch. So now the finger pointing starts. And if this continues on, if Triangle Eye is not mature enough by now and caught on to Aaron here, basically this is going to be a finger pointing match and basically a cuss out match, and basically, yeah, it's not going anywhere, and it makes everyone who looks at wrestling fans and think, man, you're both stupid. Trust me, I've been in some of these a lot of times. A lot of people don't all, you know, we can't not learn to disagree, guys, and just leave it at that. Instead, now we gotta start calling each other out, calling each other a piece of shit, and that's where it's leading. So, for those of you guys who are wondering why this is happening on here, why I'm talking about it, it's just an example of wrestling fans going the extra below. But here's the thing. Yesterday, when I looked up this article the first time, or the first part of this article, Session, I'm going to say this, a lot of people have already commented and made her, I don't even watch Session that much to really care, but basically there's already a lot of people who think she was in the wrong for doing this. And of course Scott's in the wrong because he went and said this shit, so basically, this is just stupidity meeting stupidity. And now you have wrestling fans who are arguing and complaining with each other out of stupidity because they have stupidity. And that's the fact of the matter is, guys. I mean, that's from experience on my part, too. I've said some stupid shit out of stupidity, too. Alright. Nikki Bella reveals she was raped twice as a teenager. I'm like, wait, what? So she stated in the book, that she was raped at the age of 15. A fellow student that she thought was a friend raped her after being drugged by a college man. I wonder how that actually went, guys. I'm not reading this whole thing, but basically where it comes off is like, she says she felt like she wanted to keep it secret. That she started to lose confidence and disrespect herself, and she got into a lot of relationships in a young age, and other people disrespect her. And she admits she would go on and off on therapy, and my God. Honestly, guys, I wonder if this all happened or is she promoting herself. But if she got raped, man, that's sad. Everything I know about Nikki Bella right now is emotional. And just reading this makes me not want to read this. Guys, I'm sorry. But basically, oh man. This would explain a lot, and you know what, Nikki, if you were raped, I'm sorry that it happened to you, and I hope that you can talk about it more and, share your opinions, share your thoughts, and help, be a strong role model to kids, because, you already got that image. Fucking just be real, share, I hope you can do that and help inspire younger women to be strong and let them know everything's going to be fine and all that, I hope some of the girls who read this article, I'm not going to read it, but this is going to be on people.com, and it's going to be part of her new autobiography, The Incomparable. You guys want to check it out? Go ahead, and she's going to tell you guys her story, and for young girls who are going through this, I think it would be nice to just read it, or just even try and ask her for advice or whatnot, I mean, this is some serious shit, and honestly, I don't like Nikki Bella a whole lot. That's why I'm kind of being of a dick about it. But I'm glad she's actually taking the time to share her story, and I hope she does come out more about it and just try and help younger people through it, That's the only thing you can really ask of it. So, oh man, damn. I'm sorry, I feel bad for Nikki. I'm not going to continue this article. Alright, so WWE has rescheduled their tours of Australia and New Zealand. So now the new tour dates are as followed. You got July 29th 2021 at Rod Laver Arena in Melbourne. July 30, 2021, Kudos Bank Arena in Sydney. And then July 31st, 2021, Spark Arena in Auckland, New Zealand. So basically, due to the coronavirus, these tour dates were supposed to take place in August, so they're now postponing them and rescheduling them for next year. So guys, if you want to check out, for the guys down in Australia and New Zealand, you guys want to check out these shows, check them out. And at the same time, try to give us an update, guys, if you guys are getting reimbursed for these dates, you know, because I don't know how many of you have already bought tickets already for these shows originally. So let us know if you guys are getting reimbursed or refunded, you know. But there's a lot of big names that are advertising for the tour. Hopefully they're all still with the company. Alright, next. WWE has announced the release schedule of The Undertaker's Last Ride series. So, this is going to be a Sunday show, basically. So, Chapter 1 starts this Sunday after Money in the Bank. Then you're going to have Chapter 2 the following Sunday. Then Chapter 3 on the 24th. Chapter 4 on June 14th. And Chapter 5 on June 21st. Kind of an awkward schedule, but you get the first 3 chapters this month. And then the second 2 chapters the following month. In the last, I think in the middle of the month? Yeah, that's middle of the month, I believe. So, this Sunday's episode is, they actually give us a synopsis. It's going to come where Undertaker comes to terms with his own mortality as he prepares for what many believe to be his final match of his career against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 33. Fans will get a rare glimpse into what led to that moment, the pressure he puts on himself each year getting ready for WWE's annual pop culture extravaganza. In addition, the episode looks back at the emotional toll taken on Undertaker after his 21 undefeated streak came to a shocking conclusion against Brock Lesnar. Wow. And the series is going to feature a lot of interviews featuring Michelle McCool, his wife, Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, Triple H, Cena, Reigns, Batista, Flair, Edge, Shawn Michaels, Mick Foley, and others. I just read this synopsis, and for the fans who are saying Roman is being erased from WWE, you need to check this article, because apparently this Sunday, Undertaker's Last Ride series begins with Chapter 1 this Sunday, and Roman Reigns is scheduled to be one of the guys that he is being interviewed by. On top of that, Roman Reigns is going to be one of the main discussions in Undertaker's show, because they're going to go back to WrestleMania 33. And you know what's also going to be, I think it's going to be cool as hell, to find out what was going through his mind at WrestleMania 30. My God. Last Ride, guys, I'm definitely checking this. I'm definitely checking this after Money in the Bank. I think this is going to be some good content. I'm going to watch. And I suggest everybody else watches, and especially the guys who think Roman Reigns is being erased from history. Roman is being advertised for this show! Holy shit! And Last Ride joins the network's lineup of must-see original programming, including 24, Untold, Chronicle, network's WWE award-winning digital streaming service, every live pay-per-view original programming, for 11,000 hours. And, oh my fucking God! Sorry, Lord. Sorry for using your name in vain. I gotta watch myself more. Fuck. You know what? I just realized something, too. Yeah, Roman Reigns is getting promoted in this, and they're talking about him being erased. And we were watching, I was doing a Fox article not too long ago, and they mentioned Roman Reigns too. So, yeah, guys. How is he being erased when other shows that is part of WWE programming not promoting Roman? Huh? Roman Reigns is being erased because he wasn't featured on a Money in the Bank promo. My head hurts. My fucking head hurts. And you know what's the worst part about it is, guys? I'm talking about Undertaker and we gotta go into Roman. Oh, shit. Alright. Well, I'm gonna end our episode today with MLW. And first things first, this is the big news of MLW. Court Burr has gone on his Twitter announcing that my all-time favorite Mike Tyson is considering an exhibition fight. I'm 100% down to see this. But what I would really like to see is Tyson finally get in the wrestling ring. MLW would love to promote that match and in the process help some charities. How about it, Iron Mike? So Mike Tyson is asking and making an offer to WWE Hall of Famer Mike Tyson, the boxing legend, one of my favorite boxing legends of all time. Mike Tyson, guys, is an MLW. What do you guys think about that? Mike Tyson is going to be offered this, but he's looking for his next fight for an exhibition fight for a boxing match. Quite honestly, I would love to see Mike Tyson in either a wrestling ring or a boxing ring. It doesn't matter. I would love to see Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's awesome. And then MLW also made an announcement that they have inked a deal with DirecTV for their pay-per-view shows. And basically it states a new distribution partnership with DirecTV to distribute a slate of special events starting this weekend on pay-per-view. DirecTV is one of the biggest pay-per-view players of all time in the game, which makes it all the perfect distributor for distinctly sports-centered wrestling fights you can only experience with MLW, said Court Bearer. And basically, DirecTV offers a huge pay-per-view content selection, which involves May 7th. Well, these are the three marquee events that are for the month of May. MLW Saturday Night Super Fight, MLW Battle Riot 2, and MLW Opera Cup 2019. So, for those of you guys who are fans of MLW, MLW will be having a show. We'll be going to pay-per-view with DirecTV. Alright, guys, I'm going to close this off, and we're just going to end it here. Alright, so, for the wrestling fans here, man, this was one of my longest shows for this Talk Wrestling episodes, huh? But, hey, I'm going to state this. As far as the Roman Reigns situation goes, guys, until you hear something else, like being said about Roman and WWE, I wouldn't worry about it. Because in my opinion, they're just keeping him off TV. And as far as wrestling fans throwing a conniption fit and start to go and have a wrestling match of their own on the internet, guys, remember, let's be civil. Let's not fight out of stupidity. Let's just state our facts and state our truth. What we, but don't go into a fight and point fingers at each other and start hating each other and then hating the whole thing. Because that's how wrestling fans hate wrestling. Alright, and it's negativity. Alright, guys, so that is it for today's episode. I hope you guys like. I hope you guys subscribe. Enjoy, leave a comment, and you know what? My question of the day, if you made it this far, what do you guys think? Is Roman Reigns really being erased from WWE? Or is he not? That's the question of the day. Alright, you guys take care. Have a great day. Comment below on any of the articles that you guys liked. And you know what? Enjoy yourselves, guys. Take care. God bless. Thank you for watching. Amen. Aloha kai haka. Oh, man. What the fuck?